Okay, you guys, welcome to our Thursday night call. I'm so excited because we have Sheila Medina. Oh, I can see her now. Uh, we have Sheila Medina, who was the very first diamond with Plexus and one of the very first ambassadors. And so I am so thrilled. I had to book her like 2 months ago. I hope you guys know that because she was all booked up. And so I really wanted you guys to hear from her because we have spent a lot of time with her and her husband, Ray, and we just love them so much. And love hearing their stories about, their history with Plexus, and really wanted to hear you guys to hear her story. So a lot of you may have already heard her speak at convention or different places, but wanted to hear firsthand from her so that you guys can hear and be excited about all that she has to say. So welcome, Sheila.
Thank you, Jana. I just love hanging out with you and Ron, too. So we just have such a good time when we go places. And, of course, we'll see each other in Hawaii next week. So it's an exciting and busy week, and lots of stuff are going on. But it's been a crazy week already. I mean, here we are in September already. It's kind of cool. And tomorrow is kind of a milestone for me because my 3495 will run through tomorrow as my 9th year with Plexus Worldwide.
Wow.
So crazy, right? And so I'll take you back. In fact, I'm going to take you guys way back to September of 2008. It was September 8th, 2008, and that's when I joined Plexus. Even though I had tried to join Plexus for like 4 months, but this might sound familiar. They were going through a back office change, and they couldn't sign me up. So if any of that resonates with any of you guys, but so it was kind of interesting. So I finally got signed up, and I did all that just to get the breast kits at cost because, you see, I already had another business, and my thought process was I'm going to get these breast kits at cost, and it's going to help me propel my other business. And so I worked with all women in my other business, and so I thought this is going to be great. I'm going to get those breast kits, and I'm going to get into health fairs and things that I can't get into with just my other business. And so that was my plan. But you know how plans change sometimes? Well, that's what happened to me. So when I joined the company back in 2008, they had just the breast kit. It was one non-consuming product. So you weren't going to get very much sales when you didn't have a product that wasn't consuming. So, but if you ordered 4 kits a month, you were qualified. And so I had bought 4 kits for a while, and through September, October, November, December. And then 2009 came along, and I got a call from Tarl in July, and he asked me if I would try another product. Now, we had came out with one consumable product, which was the breast cream, which now you know as the body cream. And so that was our first consumable product, and we thought we were somebody because we had 2 products now. And but when June came, July actually came the following year, he said, "Hey, Sheila, as our lead ambassador with the company." I'm thinking, lead ambassador? How did I do that? I was a silver ambassador. I'd become silver ambassador with just the breast kits. That's why I'm a huge advocate of being silver. And so I thought, how did I do that? Well, obviously I had bought 4 breast kits the month before. So that's how you can do it. But anyway, so it was interesting though, because he wanted me to try this product. They didn't give me a whole lot of information about what it would do or how it worked for me. It was just take the product. Uh-oh, are y'all still hearing me?
Yep.
Okay. So now, because my screen just went black. Good God. Anyway, so I tried this product, and he said, "Hey, just mix it in a bottle of water, drink it once a day, let us know how it works for you." So that was the plan. So I did that in July, August, and September. And interestingly enough, I did lose some weight. I did lose some inches. I started sleeping better. I started feeling better. And just like anything else, when that starts happening, people want to know, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I really couldn't tell them what I was doing because it didn't have a name. And but we did eventually name it Plexus Slim, and we debuted it in September 6th, which was just 2 days ago, was an anniversary for Plexus Slim. So we did launch it, and the first thing I did, of course, was put a few people on the product, and it started helping other people. And I knew that I just kind of knew that this is maybe what I should be doing. So I did resign from my other business in December of 2009 and went full-time with Plexus, not realizing that I was the first person to go full-time with Plexus. You have to realize when I started, there was 5 people working in the office, where now we probably have close to 500 people working in the office. And so 5 people, everybody answered the phone, everybody did everything, and I didn't realize how small we were. When I started with Plexus, the few people that were already ambassadors were actually all grandfathered in at senior goals. So I was actually the first person that had to go through all the ranks, which is kind of interesting, but I did. And so I realized, oh my gosh, this product is helping the masses. I want y'all to know, I'm going to look at my notes right quick to make sure I tell you this right, but in 2009, with just Plexus Plexus Slim being like 3 months old, the company did like $280,000 worth of revenue that year. So, because I want to tell you that a little bit to show you how we've grown in such a short amount of time. So I went full time, and just like any other job, I said I need 2 weeks off to kind of get my head clear, and then in January I'm going to really go for it, and that's what I did. So in January I went full time with the company, and that year in 2009 I went Ruby, and 2010 I went Ruby, and we started just spreading the word, and we really worked off of testimonials. We didn't use Facebook, we didn't have catalogs, we didn't have brochures. All we had was one piece of paper that kind of told you what was in the product and how to take it, and that was it. And we made copies of it, handed it out, but what we did have was testimonies, and our belief in the product was so strong that we felt like it would help the masses, and it did. It helped just about every single person that tried the product. They saw some type of results, and that's what we had going for us, and we went for it. And all we did in 2010 was share our stories with everyone that would listen. It was kind of interesting because Coach Cuevas and I were out beating the streets, kind of more or less, and he would get me into any school, all the school faculty meetings, and I would talk about the breast kit, and he would talk about Plexus Slim, and people would literally follow us out to our car saying, hey, have you got any of that stuff? I want to buy it now. And so, because we never tried to sell anything, we just went in and shared our testimonies and left, and people would follow us saying, hey, we want that stuff. And we were so sincere about what the product would do for people that if people came back to us a few months later and they said, oh, I don't know if the product's working for us, we would look at them like they were crazy, like, oh my gosh, there must be something wrong with you, because it works for the masses. You know, you might want to go see a doctor, because obviously there is something seriously wrong with you, because we didn't know any better, and we were just like that truthful, like, hey, this works for everybody. So in 2010, the company did a little less than $1 million. So if you think about that, we did less than 300,000, then we did less than 1 million by just me and a couple people going out and sharing our testimonies. And then in 2011, everything really took a turn. I became an Emerald Ambassador. Back then, you became an Emerald, and they announced it the following month. So they announced it in March of 2011 that I had went Emerald. And within about 4 short months, we had a few other Emeralds on board with us. And our first extravaganza to Arizona, and we had our first convention in New Orleans. There was about 250 something people there. We thought we had arrived. I mean, we were so excited, right, in New Orleans, so to have that convention. And it was so much fun because we knew everybody, right? We knew everybody. And that year in 2011, we did over $10 million worth of business. Isn't that great? I mean, $10 million worth of business. And so the following year, in 2012, I went Sapphire. Now, you have to realize there was no real Sapphire position. That was created in 2012 along with the car. And we introduced the car program at the same time, and we all went and picked up our cars for July 4th in 2012. And so in 2012, we did about 36 million. We had our second convention with about 1,800 people there. Our third convention was 2013. I went diamond that year, and we did about $60 million in revenue that year. And I remember going on stage as a diamond last time I really wanted to be the first of anything. And I thought, okay, that's enough. I want people to join me on this stage. I've got to have people joining me on this stage. And sure enough, in 2014, we had 32 people join me as a diamond on stage. And then in 2015, 15, we did about 385 million. We had our convention in Phoenix that year, and we maxed out 2014 in Dallas, 2015 in Phoenix, 2016 at the MGM, and we celebrated 100 diamonds. And so I tell you all that to say that it's interesting if you really think about it, that I went emerald in 2011, sapphire in 2012, 2013 diamond, and then what's happened in the last 3 or 4 years has been nothing less than remarkable. Like, just unbelievable, with Plexus being in the Inc. 5000 2 times in a row, us being named ranked number 28 in the United States and 39 worldwide with direct selling news. I mean, our accolades are through the roof. You know, our success kit won an award. Plexus Worldwide was actually nominated last year and won the best place to work for in Scottsdale, Arizona. So, I mean, it's really good that when your employees want to work where you work as well. And so they want to work at the location of Plexus Worldwide. So not the ambassadors, but the actual people that work there, the people that answer the phones, the people that run that company. So pretty fun. I've been a member of the advisory board ever since there was an advisory board. And actually before, when we didn't call it an advisory board, it didn't really have a name. So we just didn't know what we were doing, but they called it an advisory board. And so it's been an amazing track. I mean, if you think about, let's see, what did we do last year? Over 530 million. And this year we've had a $55 million month. I mean, things are happening like crazy. And, you know, it really was all about our belief level. We had a belief in the product. We believed in Plexus Worldwide. We believed in the compensation plan, and we believed in ourselves. We knew that the product was working and it would work for the rest of everyone else as well. And, you know, when I think about that, direct selling news ranked us 46 worldwide last year, and we moved up to 39 this year. And if you think about it, we haven't opened up any countries. So I think it's pretty impressive to go up 7 ranks without opening up any other countries, and they still get all their product from Arizona. So a lot's happened in a short time. A lot of people ask me and even make a comment, oh, if I just started when you started. Well, you know what, truth is, I don't know if you'd still be here, because we've had lots of bumps along the way, but it's really about how you handle those bumps and how you move forward as to whether or not you're going to really grow in this business. Your belief levels have got to be set. You've got to be firm in where you stand, and just know that it's all about sharing. Whether it's the product or the opportunity of both, you can do it all and be anything you want to be in this business, because there's room at the top for everybody. We're seriously just getting started. I think actually today is the best day to start your business. No matter how long you've been in Plexus, today is always the best day. So I'm going to turn it back over to Jana and see if she has any questions she wants to ask me.
Well, I will tell you that Rod is watching from his office. And he just came and handed me a note and said for me to tell everyone that your passion is what took you to the top. And, I mean, really, it is true. And I think that really it says a lot about, you know, people who really want to do this business. You really have to have passion, and your passion and your belief shows in everything that you say and do.
Well, thank you. I mean, you know, it was interesting. Like I said, it was interesting. You know, we actually remembered that we had to tell people how to take the product. Back then, you know, I would have people say, oh, it's so strong. And you find out that they poured the packet on their tongue. I mean, the stories are just on and on. You know, our first Emerald Extravaganza, we were excited about going to Arizona. And if you can imagine Alec Clark out there rolling a piece of red carpet to the limo for us to get out and walk across that red carpet. I mean, it's really, to say we've come a long way in a short time, it really is. You know, they say if a company's been around for 5 years, you are really doing something, because network marketing companies open up every day. But it's the ones that stick around and that are going to keep being around. And so when I think about, here we are 9 years later, I mean, next year we'll be celebrating 10 years that Plexus Worldwide has been around. And then 2020 we'll be celebrating our 20th convention. And I just think those are huge milestones for our company, and it really does say a lot about our company and corporate. And you know, when I think about Alec and Tarl and how we've went on this journey together, and I've seen them grow just as much. I've seen their passion with the company as well. And I love the fact that Charles said a long time ago, Sheila, when we make a decision, it's got to be good for the ambassador and good for the company. If it's only good for the ambassador and it's not good for the company, then we really have to think about it. Or if it's only good for the company and not good for the ambassador, then what good is that going to do us? So it really has to be a win-win for both the company and the ambassadors. And so I love that the company still thinks like that they still care. I mean, just look at this latest incident with Houston. I mean, between you and all the people on this call, but kind of confidentially, Tarla and I had talked about that yesterday, about what can the company do? What else can the company do to help those people in Houston and the surrounding area? And I think it's pretty amazing that we have a company that cares. And they've always been a caring company, and I really see that moving into the future. And I just think it's an amazing place to be, that people do care about you. They do know who you are. They do care. One of the things I love about Plexus is, it's always Tarl and Alec. They're all about the people who make a couple extra $100, not the people at the top that are making tens of thousands of dollars, but the people that are making a couple extra $100 a month, and how that's really changing their lives and how many people can we impact. Because if you think about it, if you help the masses make an extra $300 to $500 a month, that can be everything to people. That could be life-changing, and it really is for most people, very life-changing. And so my goal has always been, if you're looking for people to make an extra $10,000 a month, you're looking for the wrong people. You need to look for people that $300 to $500 could be life-changing, and they could have as much passion and belief as you do about this company when they start making those checks that takes their family to a whole new level.
Yeah. Absolutely. And the people on this call that have been with the company for a while kind of know about Alec and Tarl, but I mean, tell us a little bit for people maybe that don't know their personalities and their integrity and their, how they feel about us. I mean, obviously we know that, but tell us from a firsthand perspective about Tarl and Alec.
I remember that when we did our first percentages of how many people made money. And Alec used to work for another network marketing company. He was kind of like a liaison. He's been several different things, and then he got into just other parts of the business. But when he was a liaison, he talked about how companies would brag when hardly nobody made any money. They would just brag about the people that made large amounts of money, and that we always wanted to do differently. I know you've heard the little slogan that we use, we want to do network marketing like it could and should be done, but rarely is. And that really is their motto. And it's just interesting because they were so excited when the percentages came back, and they were so huge of the people that actually make a commission check. And so that just moved them. So, I mean, when you see Alec on stage and he tears up, that's not a joke. I mean, he is really so passionate about Plexus. I mean, he uprooted him and his 5 kids and his wife from Salt Lake City, where they had lived their entire life, where all their family was from, to move to Arizona because that's how passionate he was about working with Plexus. And, Charles come a long way. For those of you that don't know, he was the financial officer when I first started. He and I did the little weekly calls together. We talk about breast kits and breast cream. It was kind of interesting. Every single Tuesday, him and I would, at 10 o'clock in the morning, we'd do a little conference call about it. But, his passion, and he knew he had to step into the position that he needed to. And he has done all kinds of different things to make sure he is the very best CEO. I think when you put people in middle management that knows more than you do, that's what he's done to make sure that our company is very, very successful. I mean, the Cindy Lathams and the Sarah Beauregards and all of those people that are in the positions to make sure that we are exactly where we need to be, on the cutting edge of science, on the cutting edge of marketing, all of those things. And those are very important things to him. And I can remember my first real meeting with Alec was when we went to check out the convention center in New Orleans. And it was me and Patty and Ronnie and Deborah Lawson, Coach and Patty Cuevas and Deborah Lawson. It was just the 4 of us, and he took us in this big room where we were going to set up those 260 chairs, right? And it was a big room, and he we all got a chair and sat in a circle. And he said, I've seen this happen many of times. He said, there's something different about Plexus. You guys are not about how much money you can make, but how many people can you help? How many people can you help feel better physically and financially? And he said, I believe this company is going to do things differently. And I just appreciate all of y'all and the way you think about it. And he's the one that kind of convinced us that we could be bigger than what we thought, that it could be bigger than what we ever dreamed. And so sometimes we laugh about that because we kind of looked at each other and thought, who does he think he is? I mean, like, really, does he think we can do all this? It's just like 4 of us. What are we going to do, right? But he really had belief in us, and he inspired us to be bigger and bolder, and it really was amazing. We used to do opportunity tours where we would drive from city to city with Charles in the car or Alec in the car, and we would just go from city to city driving. We didn't get on a plane. We just drove for days. And we were in the car with them. I mean, you think about that right now, that's why they love doing the opportunity of lifetime meetings. They miss that time of just being with the people. I mean, truthfully, other companies don't do that. You don't see the president, the CEO going out doing tours through all these cities, but that's what they love to do. They love to get out from behind that desk and meet people and mingle with people, especially, and you see all those people at convention. It's pretty passionate. It's very surreal to see all those people at convention and to know how many people have joined Plexus. It's just totally amazing. But I've seen Alec and Tarl just really come into their own, and it's just really off the chain when you think about where we started and where we've come. I mean, sometimes we still pinch ourselves. I'll tell you a story. It was kind of fun. When we first all got our Lexuses, we had a rooftop party in New Orleans. It was supposed to be a rooftop party, but you see, a storm came and we couldn't get on the roof and take pictures with our Lexus, so we went to a restaurant. And all the girls, just like anything else, we all went to the bathroom together, and we were literally in there saying, pinch me, are you kidding me? There's like 17 of us that went to pick up our cars. We're like, are you kidding me? Because remember, this is 2012. We'd already had our first convention. We'd already been to the following year where we had Sapphire. So we were saying, pinch me, we can't believe this is happening. We took more pictures in the bathroom than what we did in the restaurant because we were so excited about what was happening and the future of Plexus. And so I tell you that, this is like living a dream. And so if you can dream big, and if you can put yourself, get yourself out of the way, and how many people can I help? How many people can I share this product with and share this opportunity with? And I believe that you can be anything you want to be in Plexus, and we're just waiting for you.
Yeah, and what you just said about how you guys all were together and talked about how you could make such a difference in people's lives, and how it wasn't about how much money you could make, but how many lives you can impact. And we say all the time, and that's just like an example of how each one of us can create that duplication, because look how many thousands of ambassadors now are doing this, and we all still have that same culture, and that was all created by just a few people, and we all still have that. So if somebody on this call thinks that you can't make a difference years from now with what you do now and the culture that you're creating on your individual team, just look at Sheila, because what she just said is like the whole entire culture of Plexus.
It's really interesting. When we do Jewel training, one of the things I talk about is, network marketing. And a lot of people get into network marketing because they have big dreams about making some really financial gains. And that's fantastic. And that is so doable. Whatever that means to you, you can totally do that. And then you realize that, wow, wait a minute. I have all this time freedom. I can decide when, where, and how, right? And then you figure out, oh my gosh, the money's great, but the time freedom, okay, I have arrived. And then the real reality comes. And that's when you look around and you look at all the people's lives that have changed because of what you have shared and what you have done in the past. And that's the most rewarding part, is to look out in that audience and thinking, oh my goodness, because you started something, and maybe you think you're kind of alone out there and there's nobody in your city doing it that you know of, or whatever the case may be, you can change everything. One of the things I talk about is I think the biggest hurdle you have to get over is your belief in yourself. And I hear a lot of people tell me, well, no one's really been successful in my family for whatever reason. I say, why don't you be the first? Why don't you change that? Why don't you decide? And success looks different for everybody, but why don't you be the one that they say, my cousin, my sister, my brother, my aunt, my uncle, my mom, my dad, they did that MLM thing. I think it was Plexus, and they were quite successful. Why don't you change what your family and friends think about network marketing? Because truly, when you have financial success and time freedom, there's so many other things that you can do in your community. I remember one of the things Tarl told us really early years. He said, you can only own so many cars and buy so many homes. And then you have to figure out, what is it that you could do for your faith and your family and your community that would really make a difference? And I think about him saying that all the time. Back when we weren't making any money, I never even knew if we were going to make money. We just knew the product worked and we were excited about it. Because when you see someone come off of insulin shots, when you see someone right before your eyes get healthy, I tell you, it changes everything. And y'all, we see that every day. People's lives are changing every day. People are getting healthy every day. And you can be a part of that. And why not? If not you, someone else will. I promise you, if you don't talk to the people in your life, if you don't connect with the people then someone else will. And don't miss out on this opportunity of a lifetime.
Absolutely. So tell us real quick, what do you see for the next 5 years? As much as you've seen in the last 5 years, what do you see for the next 5 years?
I know, I'm kind of scared. Whoa, what could happen? I think when I think about being number 28 in the United States, I could probably think of 20 companies out there that are you probably list 20 companies that are big, American Cosmetics, all of those, Amway, all those, Avon, all those really big companies that have been around forever. I really do see us as being a legacy company. I see us opening up other countries. Interestingly enough, though, only about 17% of Americans have ever even heard of Plexus, so we can take that little nugget. But I see us doing lots of things. I see us doing more philanthropy type of stuff. I see us opening up more countries. I see us expanding over and over again. You guys, this is not my first new building with Plexus. This is like my third or fourth new building. I mean, I can remember Charles saying, this building we're going to be able to do millions in this building. And that was in October and January. We were looking for land. So, but when I know that Plexus has a 79-year lease on our current building, I'm pretty good to go with my lifespan with Plexus. But I see it as a legacy company that you're going to be able to pass to your children and your grandchildren. And that's so huge when you think about it. This is not just about you. It's about a lot more than just you. And that's the part that we've got to realize. And I think that's what everybody's going to see in the next 5 years is just how much we really can impact the nation as far as it comes to gut health and healthiness all over. And then especially with mamas being able to come back home and people that want to work can work on by their own choice. And so I really see the next 5 years as being another huge milestone, pretty much like the last 5 years. I think it's going to take a whole new turn because we've got the people in place to do that. And so I'm excited about the next 5 years. I think the next 5 years are going to rock. And I hope all of you guys are with us to watch it because it really is going to be fantastic. I know of a couple things that are coming in just the next year that I'm already so excited about. I can't stand it. And of course, I can't share it, but it's a secret. But those kinds of things. I want to tell you that Plexus is actually currently looking 4 years out, which I think is pretty cool when you think your company is already looking 4 years in advance of what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, and how we're going to get there.
Well, you guys heard it firsthand. She knows secrets that none of us else knows. So, that must be pretty cool.
All good stuff, that's for sure.
Yeah, but it's hard not to tell, right?
Yeah. Sometimes I get what's secrets and what's I'm like, is that something I can tell or not? Oh, but maybe not. But trust me, yeah, there's always a planning stage. And don't you think it's exciting that there's a group of ambassadors that get to be a part of the planning stage? I mean, most companies, I mean, I'll be honest with y'all, I was with Mary Kay Cosmetics for 15 years. And I never once got to be in on any type of planning stage. As far as I know, no one in the sales force was ever a part of that. So when I tell you that Plexus really does consider the ambassador's opinion, they really, really do. I'm a huge advocate for ambassadors. I have always been and will continue to be that if I don't think it's the right thing to do, I'm the first one to tell Taro. And the good news is he listens. And so does Alec. And that's what we have going for us is we do have guys that listen. And just know they listen to the jewels. So if you think of something, whatever, pass it to Jana, and because the diamonds get a chance to voice, their opinions as well. And so, of course, we have so many. You can't have 600,000 voices, right? But you can have a few and that have their pulse on what's going on. And that's where the jewels come in. And that's why it's so important about diamonds is they do have their pulse on their team and what's going on in their communities and in their organizations. And that's fun to know that they can pass that information up. And the best part is that we have an executive team that listens.
Yeah, and we're promoting the jewels every single month. So, yeah. I mean, like you said, if you don't tell people about it, somebody else will, because there are people promoting to jewel and diamond every single month, and you guys can do it. Like, there's room for you to come too with us.
Oh, yeah. I'm doing jewel training in November, and now I'm having to do 2 back-to-back because we had so many new jewels over the summer.
Fun.
Isn't that crazy? So, you can too. It really is a decision. You have to make a decision. And, it's kind of like the elephant. You can eat it one bite at a time, right? And so you just have to make a decision. What is it that you want? And then work backwards from it. Break it down into small bite-sized goals that you can do. I'm a huge advocate of going silver because I really, truly believe you can go silver over and over again until you reach the level of success that you're looking for. We hope that's a jewel level, but whatever that is for you, you can simply get it by simply sharing the product and opportunity with 3 people over and over again. I truly think that's so duplicatable and it's so easy and not overwhelming, but do it consistently. And we will see you at the top.
Absolutely. Making that decision every single day, right?
Yes, every day.
Okay, Sheila, I'm so excited. Thank you so much for coming on the call. I absolutely love you, and thank you for all of your wisdom. And I'm always looking to learn from you. And so excited about seeing you next week in Hawaii.
Can't wait! So sorry about my internet issues tonight. Not sure what's happening, but
that's okay. That's what we're waiting for. But we so appreciate your time. Have a good night and stay safe from the hurricane.
Sure will. Bye, everyone.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
Thank you.